Welcome to the Infinite Canvas 2017 Spooktacular Special. Humanity has always been telling stories, even before we had writing. And it's one of those things that, over time, stories tend to diminish, or they can be remembered. And 90% of stories tend to be forgotten, or considered crap. Now, here at the Infinite Canvas podcast, we want to create as many stories as possible. We want to find that sweet spot, that gem of a story that we want to cherish and keep forever. And you, the listeners, are on that journey with us. And without further ado, here's the very first episode of the Infinite Canvas podcast. We hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Infinite Canvas podcast. I am John Venegas.
And I am David Foz.
We are the creators of Curse Quest, and this is our first time doing a podcast, so we're going to absolutely hope for the best. So here we are going to try to come up with ideas for comics, movies, whatever, that we assume might be bad ideas. But, you know, it's one of those things, it's going to be hit or miss. We're going to really try to... this sounds like really rambling. We're going to edit this out.
Don't say we're going to edit things out. Just go for it.
No, we can't keep all the crap in. That's the point. You're going to edit out 90% of this.
Yes, just I am. I'm writing down the times.
Alright, so we're going to just start right off the bat. We're going to make a really bad comic. I mean, that's not really our intention to make something bad. Our intention is to just come up with as many ideas as possible. And, you know, according to Sturgeon's Law, most of our ideas are going to be bad. We're really trying to find that one sweet gem of an idea. Someday we'll get it, but definitely not today. So today's idea is actually something that we... What's up?
I don't know. My idea is pretty good. But you go on.
Is it really?
It's good. We'll wait until you hear it.
Well, it's gonna be amazing. I want to hear your idea because I have a very good feeling that it's the exact same idea that I have.
I really hope it's not. That's the only thing I was worried about, is that you were gonna make a carbon copy of what I did, or I was gonna make a carbon copy of what you did, since I think you did finish yours first. But I doubt it. I'm hoping I'm correct, because I did give a lot of my characters' backstories. So hopefully that makes a big difference. But okay, you keep going.
David, tell me, is your thing about monster hunters?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just assuming that since we started off with a...
This is gonna be great. They're totally different.
Wait, did you copy my idea?
I hope I didn't.
We were supposed to come up with we're rambling, but I don't think we told anybody actually already that we were supposed to come up with counters or an anti-team of the Howling Commandos from Marvel's comics. Now, David knows a little bit more about comics than I do, and hopefully he knows a little bit more about the Howling Commandos. So if you want to give just a really quick, brief description of what the Howling Commandos are, you are free to do so.
I know nothing about the Howling Commandos.
God damn it, David, you had one job. So the Howling Commandos... do you really not know? You're the one who told me about them.
Okay,
this is like no, hold on, really quick.
I got this.
This is like the time when you introduced me to Doctor Who, and I went on this whole big thing about the Valiard, this big conspiracy theory of how he was going to come back, and you're just like, who?
Okay, one, we're talking about the wrong category of subject. Okay, that's sci-fi, Doctor Who stuff. This is Marvel comics. Okay, give me an example relating to comics. But okay, I do know
they're Doctor Who comics.
Touche, I guess, but no. Okay.
I'm sorry I interrupt you. You may talk about the Commandos.
Okay. Howling Commandos. For those who don't know about the Howling Commandos, which is mostly everybody that isn't a hardcore Marvel fan, there are two types of Howling Commandos. like throughout comics history. There's like the human team, which was created by I think Captain America and Nick Fury. So they have like their human versions, and then later on they came out with monster versions, which is what the ones we are basing off our evil team off of, since it's a Halloween and monsters and everything. But they usually have different versions of the monster team, and since John didn't know much about these people, I kind of told him a specific team, and it's from I guess the most recent interpretation of the Howling Commandos. So I don't know if you want me to go down the list of the members or not.
No, you don't really have to. The thing is though is that the team you came up with might counter a different team that I came up with, maybe. So you don't have to like. I don't know, because I didn't listen to you 100% of which the monsters were. Maybe I did copy them. No, maybe I did, because I immediately just went to Wikipedia and just looked at like the first 5 ones, and I'm like, my team is going to be based on these, because these are really common monsters in culture. So it's like everybody can understand these. Like, I didn't make a counter for the living centaur with diabetes guy. I didn't do that one.
I mean, what is specifically for him?
Did you make one specifically for him? How many characters did you make? Did you make one for every member?
Yeah.
It's like if I asked you to make a Justice League anti-team, and you just made an anti-character for every single character from Justice League Unlimited.
When you say it like that, you make it seem like I did too much. But yes, I did.
Quick reminder: how many pages of backstory do you have? How many pages do you have total of everything?
Pages? None, because it's all up in the noggin. It's in the head. But if
it's
I guess
all in your head.
I guess if I was to actually put it down, I think each one would have at least a page, maybe.
Oh, okay. Each of my characters has a paragraph, and I think I have 2 pages.
How many characters did you make?
I only made 5.
5. So then why are you saying? Is it because I made one specifically for each one?
I did.
Is that the issue?
I only stuck with 5 members.
No,
Okay. No. If we're gonna get into this, enlighten me. I just want to hear your team.
I'm sorry?
I want to hear your team. I just want to hear what your team is and what their powers are, and how do you think they are the counters to their respective monsters.
Well, okay, look, because I do know more about these characters than you do. I hope I do. I know when you go into research mode, you gather up some random facts and information. But
to be fair, I didn't go with the Marvel version. I kind of just made up my own version of the monsters too. So I don't know. That's cheating.
Yours is not even based off the actual members?
I mean, they're based off the members. They're not based off the like. Okay, so here's the thing: the members from the Marvel comics, and let me remind you, they are from the ones that you told me. Frankenstein's monster's clone. So I basically just based mine off of Frankenstein's monster. Vampire at Night. I just based mine off of Dracula. The Invisible
Dracula
Man,
is its own character.
That's fine, but I just based mine on the archetypes of these characters, and 2 original characters. I want to say they're based off the archetypes, though.
Okay.
Don't get mad at me for trying to bring a creative twist to these.
I flipped a coin. I got heads, so I'm gonna go last. You can go first.
What? No, the plan was you go first. Whatever. All right, so I'm gonna go first. That David can school me on his later. So my first member is the counter to the Invisible Man, whom, by the way, I am referring to as Griffin. Now my character.
They have actual names.
They do. The Invisible Man in the original book by H.G. Wells had a name. It was Dr. Griffin. He didn't have a first name, so I gave him one, and it's Griffin.
You may continue.
By the way, it's his His first name is spelled Gryphon, and his last name is spelled Griffin. So Squid Bop is the counter to the Invisible Man. Now, you can stop me if you've heard this before. What?
Nothing. You keep going.
Okay, so stop me if you've heard this before. Squid Bop is a hipster preteen with an obsession with squids and paintball.
So you just stole somebody else's character.
What? No, it's not a character. It's an entire race.
That's somebody's character. I think Nintendo is going to be calling at your door for a cease and desist order. I said Nintendo is going to be calling you.
No, you're going to like... No, it's like Howard the Duck. It's obviously not Donald Duck. For Squid Bop, their paint isn't unique or special at all. It's just paint. It doesn't grant them any ability to swim through it or anything. It's just paint. It's the perfect way to revealing where the Invisible Man is.
I guess. Do you have a point?
I do have a point. Oh, it doesn't stop there. The plagiarism continues. Squid Bop has the capabilities of turning into a small squid creature. They are a shape-shifting marine species known as Cracanians. However, the problem with this is they become an actual squid. It's not a magical squid that can swim through it. It's just a squid. So transforming into it is almost never useful. She lives with one of the other characters I will mention in just a quick second. Squid Bop, their main tagline is, "This character is unnecessary and can be replaced by literally anybody else on the team as long as they have a paintball gun. Or hell, even a real gun."
Okay.
Squid Bop is an edgy loner character, meant to be a character parody of those archetypes. However, considering most people who say this is a parody of a certain archetype usually aren't parodying them and are just playing them straight, and that's just their excuse. So I'm assuming that whoever writes for Squid Bop will just make an edgy character and they'll think they're being clever, cute, and original, but they're just using the same edgy tropes. So that's my first character. I know it sounds terrible now that I'm saying it out loud. I thought it was funny before, but now it just sounds way off. David,
yes.
Do you have a better character than this? I don't know if you want to counter the same Invisible Man, or if you even did.
I do have a Invisible Man on the team that I am supposed to counter, but I kind of want to hear the rest of yours, unless you just want to go one by one.
I don't want a monologue for 10 minutes, so I kind of think that it would be more fun to just exchange characters one at a time like this.
Okay, then
Right.
I'll be happy enough to tell you about mine. Okay, now when it comes to my counter, you have to go and do like a little retconning to the past comics, because this is the same Invisible Man from the comics, but you'll have to do like a giant retcon, I guess, and change the origin story completely. But okay, my Invisible Man, he was created through genetic experiments, so specifically through animal genetic testing stuff. So
is he a cuttlefish?
He's not a cuttlefish. He's technically not invisible. He's just really good at camouflaging, and it's something he can't turn off. So that's why he appears visible. And his arch enemy is his brother. I call him Snake Eyes. Okay. His power is that he can see in what's that called? It's not infrared, is it? Like he see the heat.
I think that's infrared.
Yeah, it's infrared then. So he can see the Invisible Man. So he's able to. He doesn't need no ink or anything, because I mean, come on, if you're relying on using ink, you're gonna run out of ink. Okay, it's not something that can be, unless he's an actual squid and can produce it. Is he?
No, it's just paint. Do I have to read?
I got you. Then there you go. I'm one up you already. My villain's already better. He can permanently just see the Invisible Man. I mean, that power only works really on Invisible Man, but again, it's a counter for him. And then he has other other abilities too, like spit venom, I guess, and he could also dislocate his jaw. Yes.
But okay, I have a question. Dislocating his
Yes.
jaw, is that useful, or is he a snake person, or is that just his name?
He is a snake person.
Okay.
Invisible Man got genetically modified with a chameleon, which is why he's perfect at camouflaging. But that's the only thing he got from that. Just the power to camouflage. That's why he always appears invisible. Snake Eyes, based on his name, got experimented by snakes. Or snake DNA. So that's why he sees in, like, heat, infrared, spits venom. And when I say dislocate his jaw, that just means he can open it really big, I guess. I wrote down half, he can open it half the distance of his body, which is pretty gross if you think about it.
Yeah, no, that's
And
really gross. I mean, unless you're into that kind of stuff.
Isn't that like boar something? I don't know. And then there's I also gave him a healing factor, but not like a really good one. It's like basically just shedding his skin, and he can heal from anything. But I also put a limit to it, so he can only do it like once a day or maybe something like that. You try not to make him that overpowered. But I mean, that is my counter to Invisible Man.
Okay, so before I go on my next one, I have a very... I think I picked up the theme here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I made my characters in a comedic fashion. I'm assuming that my story is supposed to be like action with comedy.
Yes.
But it sounds like your characters are legit trying to just kill these people.
No, okay. Yes, it sounded like that. I think that's the only character I have like that.
Okay, no, because I only have one character who sounds remotely anything similar to that, and he's still a funny character.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go off my...
I'm sorry. I would admit he is my least comedic character, but I think you'll like the other ones, especially one of them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you'll like one of them.
My characters don't have any useful powers. I just want to throw that out there. Okay, this one might be kind of useful. So Squidbop lives with her older mentor, I want to say. She's not her real sister, but she lives with Molten Scissor Lass. I named her that because I was thinking of the League of, what's it called? The League of Superhumans or whatever, the space people, the from DC, the ones that have really stupid names, like Balloon Boy and Matter Eater Lad. Specifically Matter Eater Lad. I thought a stupid name like that would be funny.
Yeah.
Molten Scissor Lass is a metahuman, or if we're going to go with Marvel, mutant is the same thing. She's a mutant who has genetically gained her powers from her parents. I don't know if adopting powers is a thing for Marvel or if it's always random, but I'm going with she adopted her powers from her parents.
Okay.
Her father was capable of creating storms of fire and heat, capable of burning anything. And her mom was made of metal, and she could create spikes from anywhere on her body.
Yes.
She has gained these powers. However, she can only create illusionary fire, so it's all in your head, it's not real. And she can only morph her hands into safety scissors.
Can I ask who is this a counter for?
Frankenstein's monster?
How is that useful?
Well, I was going off of the Frankenstein's monster is just made of corpses and he's stitched together, so scissors would be useful. Admittedly, I just wanted somebody like Edward Scissorhands, but with stubs for hands instead of real scissors. And then useful a little bit in that the Frankenstein's monster was afraid of fire.
Okay.
And so then causing illusionary fire was a way of making him scared. Exploiting on his fear. I haven't confirmed or denied if he got over that fear in this universe, but I'm open to whichever one sounds better. um, that sounds like like I'm saying, these sound worse as I say them out loud. They sound better on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have a counter for the Frankenstein's monster, or did you choose somebody else?
No, I also do have Frankenstein's monster. At least for mine, unlike Invisible Man, you don't have to do that much retconning. But I got my guy. I named him Frankenstein's Farmer.
Excuse me, what?
Frankenstein's Farmer.
Oh boy,
that is who I named it. The reason I named him Frankenstein's Farmer, it is because Dr. Frankenstein wants to get Frankenstein's monster back. I don't even know if he has a name. I don't know.
He trying to get the monster back. Name.
Okay, well then, he's trying to get his monster back. And so, he was like, well, if I want my monster back, what's better, fight fire with fire, I'll just create another monster. But he couldn't call it Frankenstein's monster again, because, it's kind of lame to reuse the name again. So he just
took
the
first...
just
for a second?
Yes.
I don't think Frankenstein named his monster Frankenstein's monster.
Well, in my world, he named him Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine, keep going.
Look, if he didn't, then this would make no sense. But he did, so it makes perfect sense. And he named his other monster Farmer, because that was the first victim Frankenstein's monster killed. And, so, yeah, he's exactly just like Frankenstein. He has super strength and endurance and everything. Except, he did upgrade Frankenstein's Farmer to have the ability to, he basically is a pyrokinesis or whatever, but he can only light things on fire that are inorganic items. So like a pitchfork or a stick. And since Frankenstein's scared of fire, it's a perfect counter for him. And also because the doctor made him, so he knows Frankenstein's weaknesses.
Okay. No, I can see that there's we used a common weakness there. We just handled it differently.
True. I gave mine real fire. You gave yours fake fire.
Hey, you said you can only burn inorganic things, and last time I checked, Frankenstein's monster was made of organic material.
Well, yeah, I was trying to make a whole thing of the, like a little mob riot people, chase them out of the street. They're not lighting him on fire. They're lighting pitchforks and, torches on fire. So, that's what Frankenstein's Farmer does.
Really, really quick, I'm retconning Molten Scissor Loss. She can also turn her hand into a pitchfork, but, with not sharp edges.
You cannot retcon it based off of thing I did.
Hey, no, it didn't make things any more useful! It's like those ones where, if you accidentally step on it, in your backyard, it doesn't hurt. It just, whacks you in the head, like Tom and Jerry. Alright, so I'm gonna move on over to... oh, by the way, I named my Frankenstein's monster. I named him Adam. Adam Frankenstein. That is exactly what he was called in the book. He at the very end of the book, he was given the name Adam. Not officially, but, Frankenstein called him, "My Adam," really weird and whatever, I guess. Anyways, so my counter to a vampire, I want you to imagine something in your head really quick, okay? I want you to imagine Van Helsing, however you imagine. I don't care what he looks like. Now, you see where this is going, right? Alright.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Now, imagine him if he was shorter.
Okay.
Fatter. It smelled horrendously.
Okay.
Basically, I'm combining Wario with Van Helsing.
Oh my god.
Meet my vampire hunter. His name is Garlic. Garlic has no abilities, no powers, nothing. He has abilities, but there are no superpowers. Van Helsing,
Okay.
Van Helsing. I called him Van Helsing. So Garlic used to own a farm,
Okay.
and he would grow, surprise, surprise, garlic. Now, one day he was out and about on the streets, and he's attacked by a vampire. Now, or some other people
Okay.
were attacked by a vampire. Now, he didn't know how to react. He thought it was just a regular old mugging. So he went over there to go stop this mugging, and it turns out that the person that was doing the mugging was none other than Dracula himself. Because this is a stupid story, and it doesn't make any sense. Now, Garlic finds out that he's pretty good at keeping Dracula away, and then realizes, hey, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. Decides to go into vampire hunting, and because he eventually becomes kind of paranoid about vampires, he never bathes. He doesn't brush his teeth, and he always stinks like garlic.
Okay.
He insistently carries around aerosol with him that has water in it mixed with garlic juice. So he's always spraying the essence of garlic everywhere. You can get where this comes from now. Garlic is the team leader of whatever I'm calling my team. The thing about naming things is that it's hard sometimes because sometimes a name might be taken.
And that's true.
I wanted to name them the Monster Busters, but Monster Busters is taken.
Good.
And then good. Good. I forgot what else I wanted to name them, but for right now they're being called the Cryptolers. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm
That's
sorry.
a pretty nice one. Not that bad.
Yeah, no, but garlic is just a combination. We broke off there for a second. So, I just gave a description of what garlic was and how he was just basically discount Van Helsing. Combination of that and Wario. So if you want to go ahead and tell us your vampire counter. I don't know if it's Vampire at Night, right? The one that's Marvel.
See, I did not choose Vampire by Night.
Oh, we got our first one that's different. Okay. No, that's cool. First of all, how could you make a team that fights monsters, but there's no vampire, anti-vampire dude?
Because I have better characters that I've chose.
Oh, did you choose Edward Cullen?
No, I did not choose Edward Collins.
Okay.
If I wanted to make a shitty vampire, I would have been sued by the creator of Twilight.
So, if you didn't choose Edward Cullen or Dracula, then who did you choose instead?
This is where I actually don't know where we split off. I do have a by night character, but it's not vampire by night.
Is it werewolf?
It is werewolf by night.
I'm about to say, it better not be centaur by night.
Is that one you chose?
No, I did not choose the diabetes centaur creature.
No, I'm saying, did you all just choose a werewolf?
I also chose a werewolf because I lack originality.
God, okay. Well, I don't want to do that one now, but because I want
Don't
to
choose that one now. Choose a different one. Clearly, how many people are on your team?
Okay, I also have. Oh, did you choose the centaur?
No. Did you choose the centaur?
Okay. I chose the centaur.
God!
Okay.
You chose the centaur. Okay. Please.
Okay. I chose the centaur. His name is Marcus the Centaur. Okay, for those who don't know who this character is, the earliest I've read about him was during the Secret War storyline, and this is when like all the universe combined, and there's like a bunch of different universes in one big planet. I think it was a while that I read it, but one of those, I guess, like cities in this whole planet, or one of the countries in this planet, you can say, was Lady Deadpool, I think. Lady Deadpool or Miss Deadpool and the Howling Commandos. And that was a comic where I first saw Marcus the Centaur, who was a centaur who suffered from diabetes and lost his front two legs. And to make, an improvement on him, because he can't be a fighter if he's, he is kind of disabled, so he does not have his two legs. they put him in a Venom suit, and that's where that's how he's able to fight. So,
I'm surprised you chose him.
I know he does sound pretty dark, but I did make it a little bit fun, I guess. I don't know. Okay, the villain I based off, or I countered off of him. Her name is Hantel. Okay.
Wait, say that again.
Hantel.
Oh, like Hansel and Gretel?
Yes. She's a witch.
Okay.
Who,
nice twist.
Yeah. She's a witch who kidnapped Marcus when he was a little kid. Or not kidnapped. Marcus found her house made of candy and just started munching on that house. And the witch took him in and started feeding him more candy. And more candy and more candy. And you find out that's why he had diabetes. Because he ate all the candy and sweets from there. But he was able to escape and, and avoid the witch. And technically this is not the original witch. Because she did die by the other two kids that happened to also walk in.
Yeah, didn't they eat her?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they threw her in her oven and they left her or something. I don't know. This is her daughter. She had a daughter.
And that's she named her after one of the children?
No, it's not Hansel. It's both of their names combined. It's Hansel and Gretel. But
hold on.
Just make it sound the same. It's
okay.
Hantel. Hantel.
Oh, okay. I want to say, like, you took
Hansel.
the first part of Hans from Hansel and the second part of El from Gretel. You still get Hansel.
I know. It didn't sound like it at first, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it kind of does. But no, she was not named after them. She took up the name because of them.
Okay.
And so what she's able to do is she's a conjurer, so she can conjure up things. They just happen to, and she's able to animate things, give things life. And so she conjures up sweets, candies, like a gingerbread man and like gingerbread horses, and then just animate them. So they're living gingerbread. So she has like a living gingerbread army, and they ride little gingerbread horses, and they fight the Centaur Man.
Can I just say this is my favorite character. It's just so adorable.
She's not supposed to be adorable.
But it's adorable.
She's supposed to be a fearsome competitor for this team. She makes little centaur... No, not centaur. She makes little horses out of gingerbread man.
That's adorable. Gingerbread.
It's not supposed to be adorable.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, you can continue with yours.
Alright.
Keep butchering mine.
No, yours was nice. It was cute. I want a spin-off of just Hansel.
Hantel.
Hantel?
I kind of don't want to say that because it sounds like something else. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to have to change her name.
Wait, I don't know what it sounds like. It's okay. Somebody will tell us later. Anyways, my next one is actually my not my favorite one, but I really enjoyed this one because I don't know too much about Marvel, but Gwenpool's from the real world, right?
Oh my god. I've always wanted to read that comic, but I haven't. No, she's from the comic world, but she knows she's in a comic.
Okay, so she's just Deadpool. I thought she was from a higher dimension. Anyways, Applied Logic.
Wait. She's different from Deadpool. Deadpool knows that she's different from Deadpool. She knows she's in a comic. Deadpool doesn't know he's in a comic. He just knows that whatever he does is not him choosing to do it.
Okay.
In that sense.
So my next character, their name is Applied Logic. Applied Logic is a higher dimensional being. They appear in the form of a teenage nerd. They come from a dimension in which the other characters are fictional. Applied Logic is more real than they are. Applied logic's method of attack is to point out logical flaws in the character they are engaged in battle with. They can negate the entire existence of a mummy by explaining why a mummy literally cannot exist.
Okay.
Presumably, the mummy would be destroyed, but only if applied logic is near it. So this is like a near field thing. They can't just like disprove the existence of the Loch Ness monster unless they're near the Loch Ness. However, the enemy is given a grace period in which they are allowed to counter applied logic's argument. Somebody somewhere has figured out the perfect counter, and they're spreading the rumor around. It's just 6 words. It's just a comic, bro.
Oh my
god. So the thing about this one is that not everyone knows his weakness. It's just a select group of people. So I haven't decided who it is yet that knows his weakness, but he has to give a really good argument for why somebody cannot exist.
I mean, I would think it would be the person he's a counter for, maybe. And, by the way, who is he a counter for?
The mummy?
The mummy.
Yeah.
Why specifically the mummy?
Can I tell you where I plagiarized this from? I'm gonna use that word. Because I don't really... I don't care! I'm not making a profit off of this!
Who did you plagiarize this from?
Do you ever watch LT Grey?
No.
There's an old cartoon from Nickelodeon called LT Grey. I'm not going to get into detail on what it's about. But there's an episode in which, like most of their episodes actually, but there's a specific episode in which they're fighting an army of skeletons. And LT Grey is a superhero. He can actually take all these skeletons. But his sidekick has no powers. It's just a cartoon, so they can do this. She looks at one of the skeletons, looks him up and down, and says, "How are you even standing if you don't have any muscles?" And then he collapses. That's literally what applied logic is supposed to be. Except
how is he not the most overpowered character?
The target is given a grace period in which they can lobby against him.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it seems like you will rate yourself in a bunch of corners with that character. But, I mean, that's just me.
The only problem with this one, though, is that if they're in combat, they're still gonna feel the full force and full strength of whatever is fighting them. So, like, they still experience real emotions. Like, it's not like talking is a free action. None of that. You're running, you have to articulate in full detail how this thing is not possible. You can't just be running and going, this mummy can't be real because it doesn't have a heart or a brain. It doesn't work that way. You have to, like, sit down and articulate. You gotta be like Shakespeare or like Alexander Hamilton. You gotta just, like, stand and like, shout at it.
But, I mean, if this is what your power is, I would think you'd be a little bit more experienced on how to use it while in motion.
Good point. Then again, I did mention they were just a teenage nerd, so there's also that issue.
Well, yeah, you're right. The nerd part, he barely even knows how to run.
Yeah, nerds don't know how to run? Why do you think there's so many jocks in sports?
Because that's what you call a jock person in sports?
Whatever.
You're not gonna call him a sports nerd or anything. Makes no sense.
So, did you come up with one for the mummy, or did you choose somebody else?
No, I did choose the mummy.
Okay.
The living mummy. Okay, when I came up with this character, the hardest part for me was the naming him, because I kind of wanted to call him Wereman by Night, but then it's like, well, that makes no sense, because he doesn't turn into a man, and he doesn't do it just at night. He does it forever. So I was like, wait, then how about Wereman by all time? It was like, that's just stupid now. But, so I called him Wereman.
Oh, okay? God, no. Do you know what where means? Where means bad. You named him Man.
Oh, wait. I thought where was just creature.
Wait,
oh,
hold
you turn
on.
to this creature.
I'm not gonna look this up, but I was pretty sure where meant man. That's okay.
It is. Where?
No,
Oh,
no,
well,
no.
that
I'm not.
would
I'm not.
make
I'm not gonna.
sense.
I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. Just keep doing your thing.
Well, now I just feel stupid because I thought that meant like something else. Okay, now I feel dumb. I'm still gonna keep it. His name is Wereman because I need it to be. I guess I don't know. Okay, so you do have to do a little bit of probably retconning for this character. Another character I have, Werewolf by Night, sometimes has. Okay, it's a bit weird, but the way he turns into a werewolf is by a curse. But there's a gem or a thing you can have that would turn you into a werewolf at night.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a few times where that is played into it as like, oh, sometimes it's because of a curse he turns into werewolf by night, but then it's also a gem that can turn people into a werewolf at night. And I think that's Captain America had that at one point. So we had a werewolf Captain America. So I went based off that gem. It's like, well, if you have a gem that turns you into a werewolf, what if you had another gem that turns you into, something else, another animal?
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So I made this character, which, God, now I hate to say his name, Wereman. And he has all the gems in one gem, except for the werewolf one. He lost that one. He doesn't know where it's at. And he's the counter for the living mummy. So, his power is that he can choose to turn half his body into any animal. Only half his body. It does not do it's not a full transformation.
So he can become a centaur.
He can become. I guess he can become a centaur, but he only does it to his upper half. He rarely does his lower half. He would always do his upper half. So he has super strength. Only when he transforms. So he basically gets the ability of whatever animal he turns into. So he'll sometimes have super strength, super speed, super reflex. He is immortal. He can be killed. He just doesn't die of old age. But he can be killed. But Wereman is not his real name.
God,
that's
I hope
just
not.
the name he chose. Oh my god. Okay. He does fight against the living mummy, okay? Mm-hmm. But Wereman did have many other names. He was also known as Ra, Set.
Oh my god, I just realized where this comes from. He's just all of the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
God damn it. Why did it take me so long to figure that out? Oh my god. I hate myself so much right now. This is even worse than I think I feel worse than when you felt bad for finding out the Wereman was a stupid name. I almost feel insulted.
But he fights the living mummy. I don't even think the living mummy is Egyptian or something. I think he came. Wait, never mind. Take that back.
The Marvel one isn't, but maybe, I don't know.
That's my counter. Wereman. I'm so sticky by that name.
That's fine. It's marketable.
No, that makes perfect sense because he turns into a man. But the man part changes, so he can be a werewolf. See, this name actually works.
No, that's fine.
That's a check mark of my book.
Check mark. By the way, I did look up where the word "were" comes from, and "were" is Old English, and it means man. So my counter to the man wolf is his name is Lovushka. Now, on the off chance that I might have offended some Russian people, Lovushka has the ability to transform into... David, do you want to guess what he transforms into? I'll give you a hint. It can easily kill a werewolf, probably.
A silver bullet.
It could be silver. A bear trap.
What?
So, the thing is, werewolves have a lot of weaknesses. You can kill them with a silver bullet. If you, for some reason, combine their origin with vampires, you can kill them with a wooden stake. I don't know why people get those confused, but whatever. However...
and I do remember that movie where that werewolf died from that dreaded bear trap.
Right.
Oof.
No, who could forget? What was the name of the movie again?
You can forget that movie.
Anyways, so Lavushka is known as Bear Trap by Night.
Oh my god.
That's not his name. I just called him Lavushka the Bear Trap. So I'll just read you his origin story, which I wrote in Lavushka speak. Lavushka was Russian lumberjack until fateful day when werewolves kill and eat his children. From that day, Lavushka learned he can transform into Bear Trap. Why Bear Trap? I don't know. That's probably cosmic question that will pervade overall story of comic. By the way, because I was thinking of funny things, I did give him a lame, very, very lame weakness. So,
okay.
The benefit is he turns into a bear trap. The weakness is that he's an inanimate bear trap and cannot function as a living creature anymore for 1 hour.
So, okay. By that logic, he has to know exactly where Werewolf by Night is going and is traveling.
Yes.
So, why would he just then turn into... Why would he resort to turn into a bear trap if not he could just lay, like, 1,000 other traps around if he already knows where he's going?
That's a good question. So what's your counter to the werewolf?
Okay.
I'm really glad we got off that topic.
Oh my god. Okay. My counter to Werewolf by Night is a character who, I mean, it's gonna sound like I'm ripping off of you, but not really. I named it Van Helsing.
His name is what?
Van Helsing.
Okay, well, I mean, we just copied the same thing.
Yes, but no.
Oh, no, so, go ahead. Tell me how your Van Helsing is a badass. Go ahead.
Did I tell you why my Van Helsing is better than yours?
No, go ahead. I mean...
Because his name is Van Helsing.
Does he turn into a van?
Yes and no. Okay. Van Helsing... Van Helsing is an abbreviation... Or technically just Van is an abbreviation. It's called Vehicle Assassin of Non-Humans. He was created to hunt non-humans, which at that time was just, like monsters. He's a robot. One might say a robot that can transform into to one of those little spy vans, like the FBI spy vans. So it drives around the city, spying on people, trying to figure out who's a cryptic monster or not. And the reason he's specifically Werewolf by Night's villain, it is because there's like a bunch of vampires he kills, and there's like a bunch of little goblins and leprechauns or whatever. But there's only like very few werewolves, and so usually for werewolf, usually only sticks to like a family line. So there's very rarely like any wild ones roaming out. So he's already killed like all these other cryptic creatures except for a werewolf. So that's why he specifically goes out and hunts for a werewolf by night. And you can't have a robot just roaming the city looking for it. So he camouflages himself by turning into a spy van. And, he just rides around the city spying to see if he can find Werewolf by Night, which is why he's called Van Helsing. He has super strength. The metal he's made out of is coated with silver, and he's able to transform, his arms into different kind of gadgets he can use. But I gotta admit, my Van Helsing is better than yours.
Hey, hold on. You can't say, my idea is better than yours, because when I started this, I wasn't going into this seriously. Then again, transforming van thing doesn't sound serious either. But that just makes me question my creativity. I was just thinking of really dumb things that I wanted to see on a superhero sitcom. Basically, I'm trying to say like Teen Titans Go, but good. Oh man, I know if I said that out loud, I'm gonna get so many people shit on me. Because I did this.
Yes.
I think you were the one who wanted to do this. I'm not sure. I came up with an idea for like an issue number 1. I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't. I was busy coming up with why these characters would even exist. I didn't have time to make a part 1 of this trilogy storyline.
That's okay. Well, I have an issue 1 written out. I don't know if you want to hear it, and then maybe you can like freestyle yours, or because I wrote mine in one go also. It was like freestyle. I didn't delete anything. I just kept writing. So I mean, it would be the same thing if you just talked, I think. Or did you just want to skip it over?
I mean, you go ahead. You worked really hard on that, so I want to hear it. And also, maybe it might make your characters a bit better.
Okay, so the ending is bad. I'm just putting that right off the bat because, spoilers, it goes... I put a lot of thought and effort into the origin of like the beginning part, and then I didn't want to keep writing, and so I kept on writing, and the characters just meet. So that's basically how this goes. So it doesn't take place in the Marvel universe. It takes place just in another universe. I didn't really care too much about like the Marvel versions of these characters. So we start in Salem, Massachusetts, because I couldn't think of an actual city that nobody uses. I just went with the one that everyone uses.
Okay.
They're having an event at a museum. They have a mummy on display. It is known as Cairo. Cairo in this universe is a very well-known mummy named after the Egyptian city, or maybe the Egyptian city is named after her. Who knows? And the world's most, or not the world's, but the town's most well-renowned scientists and philanthropists come by to see it. We have Lupe Laurentia, who is known as the Werewolf Queen, but not to the general public. Vlad Tepes, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, it's Romanian, that's Dracula. And Adam Proteus. Oh, I named him something cool, I just remembered. Adam Proteus. It's Frankenstein. Now, they don't reveal who they are to each other, but they are there, and they're trying to get the mummy for their own nefarious purposes, for whatever reasons. I don't know. They'll be like thought bubbles. Now, the thing is, though, is they're not using monster power or, like, ferocity or anything to get the mummy. They're using diplomacy. They're there as philanthropists. They're there on business. They are there to do a bid war. They get into a bid war with each other. This is how classy they are. Meanwhile, they notice that the body is gone, and it is we can see it leaving the room on its own accord. Now, to anyone else, you might think, oh, the mummy is just walking away. It's a living mummy. But that's where you're incorrect. It doesn't look like it's walking. It looks like it's being dragged. It is being dragged by Griffin, the Invisible Man. And so then the other three, they realize, oh, the mummy is leaving. Let's go get whoever's doing this. And so then Vlad launches himself towards the body and just like claws at it. And I'm going with like, I don't know why I made Vlad do it. It makes more sense for the werewolf to do this. But he just scrapes across the Invisible Man, and some of Griffin's blood just like splashes on the mummy. and Cairo comes to life, and things get really, really bad because we jump cut to the future for some reason. I don't know why I wrote that. The monsters, for some reason, announce that they're trying to take the town back, and Garlic just shows up and violently rushes into danger and attempts to kill the monsters on TV. The other members watched it on the news also, and for some reason they somehow team up. I don't remember how that went. It fell apart at the end.
Okay.
Now, I have no idea how your team meets. My team, I'm assuming Garlic is a well-known monster hunter, perhaps. The other guys really want to hunt monsters, and so then they just locate him somehow and then join his team. I don't know if they're going to be able to stand his stench, though. Man, that sounds really, really bad. I do like the monsters, though. They worked really well together, even though they're bad guys. I think I should just... it would be more fun to just see them, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Hey, I think I'm redesigning my premise. I think I'm getting rid of the good guys.
Getting rid of the good guys.
Getting rid of the good guys. This is going to be Bad Guy Town. It's a story about bad guys taking over the town. It's like one of those HBO shows, like Game of Thrones. I'm guessing it's probably like that.
So wait, what's the point of making counters for them if they have no one to fight?
It's been an hour. I gave up.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, I myself did not come up with any kind of big, elaborate backstory on them.
To be fair,
I did wonder why they would meet up, or who would bring them together. And
to be fair, I only came up with an origin for my villains. I didn't come up with an origin for my heroes. So,
well, I mean, if you followed the Marvel characters, you wouldn't have to come up with the origin story for them.
But I like the origin for my monsters. I really like how they meet. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I was to make the origin for my people, then, again, since mine are more tied into the Marvel universe, not currently anymore. It was a good couple of months ago. Have you ever heard of the character called? I'm probably gonna murder this name. Shikla. Have you ever heard of that character? Shikla. Or Shakla.
Boom shakalaka! Okay. No, I haven't heard of Shikla.
Okay. Shikla, again, pretty sure I'm murdering the name. But, she is the queen of the monsters. And, she's also, or I guess you could say was Deadpool's wife. Or, I think she still is, I don't remember. But, she had her own little army. Or she has a big army, but she also has her group, and it was the Howling Commandos. So that's how the heroes are formed there. And I think the way the villains are formed is they'll be gathered by Dracula, but not your Dracula, the actual Dracula from Marvel. Because there's a point where they're going at war with each other, because Dracula wants to take over. I think it's called Monsteropolis or something like that, like City of Monsters. I have no clue what it's called, but he wants to also take over it. So I think why my villains will meet up, I would think, what's his face Dracula would go out seeking for them, to build up his own little Howling Commando group to fight against the, I guess, good Howling Commandos.
So you guys are bad guys.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Howling.
Yeah, you're like, Sean, how did your Howling Commandos become the bad guys? Let's see. I liked the premise of Universal monster movies, being bad guys, and I forgot that the Howling Commandos were good guys. So to be fair, I didn't go with the Marvel versions. I went with the classic versions. So they were already bad guys. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure I remembered saying Marvel Howling Commandos, the good team, but I mean, I guess I don't know. So who did it better?
No, seriously, who did this better? I really want to know. If you liked what you heard in today's episode, you can always go to @Sci-Star Comics on Twitter. That's SCISTARCOMICS. And just send us a message. Or what do you call those? Tweets? Tweet us a message. What am I saying? I know what Twitter is. I use it every day. How did I screw that up?
I don't know.
Go to our
badly.
Leave us a tweet at Sci-Star Comics, and let us know who your favorite character was, or if you liked it. If you hated it, let us know also. We'll stop doing this immediately. Disclaimer: we're not going to stop anytime soon. If you liked my characters, leave a hashtag Team JV. Let me know who your favorite character of mine was. Your favorite of my characters was, or if you like my premise a little bit more. Shameless plug, pick my stuff. Ooh,
but if you want to choose a good team, you put hashtag DF.
Hashtag what?
DF.
Just DF, not Team DF?
I guess you can do Team DF if you want to. Either or, you're going to vote for mine no matter what.
Oh wow, you sound so fake right now. You don't even sound like you're serious about this.
Oh, I'm not. Because I already know I won.
You didn't win though. Like, it's not up to you at this point. Anyways, so...
Well, if I tweet, like, from 7 different accounts, I'm pretty sure I'll win.
I'm gonna report your ass if you do that.
All those votes are just gonna be me.
Okay, so let us know if this premise at all sounds terrible. This is going to go in the scrap pile, probably. I'm going to go off a limb here and say this is going in the scrap pile. I don't think this one's going anywhere. Maybe it can be salvageable, but probably not. So if you like this one, hashtag Team JV for my characters, and hashtag Team DF for David's characters. And right before we go, because we don't want to be complete assholes, David, which of my characters was your favorite?
My favorite, only because it's I really kind of did like the idea, mostly because it's a move he's really famous for in the video game, and it is your no wait, you put warrior, right? It was the warrior one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Only because they're in the gate in Smash, you can use his fart move, which I don't think would be amazing if in the comics he just does that all over the place. He finds like a vampire, he just starts like jumping from each one, just farting his garlic smelling farts, which sounds completely disgusting.
You like my Van Helsing Wario amalgam of an abomination garlic?
Yes.
By the way, I would never be caught dead making a fart joke, so good luck with that. But, I like garlic. He's cool. My favorite of yours would probably end up being, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Hantel, or Hansel. I don't know what that's supposed to sound like. When you mentioned it earlier, it sounds dirty or something, I guess? I'm not sure. I'm probably not thinking the right way. But I absolutely love that she's just a witch who can make an army of gingerbread people, or horses, or whatever they were supposed to be. Because that's just adorable, and I absolutely am sorry if that was not your intention. But in the same way that Deadpool was probably created as a serious character, that was just a throwaway gag, he ended up being appropriated by a bunch of people who didn't see him as that and thought he was wacky. So if I ever wrote for Hansel, she would be wackier and funnier than you probably imagined her.
But maybe just make another Squirrel Girl, but with gingerbread people.
That actually sounds exactly what I was thinking of now that you mentioned it.
Oh god. Right. Okay, I guess I take that as a win.
That's not a win. You gave me one, and I gave you one.
Voted. Everyone, take note. John voted for me.
But you gave one of mine too. Whatever. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, by the way, what are we gonna do next week again? Paul Blart 2, I think.
Yes.
You didn't say that like you were excited.
Yeah. So yeah, next up would be Mall Cop. What's his name again? Paul.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Mall. Plart.
What'd you say?
Ball. Stop. Yeah.
The one that we are doing, it's on Mall Cop. That's what's next.
That's the next one. Do you think that's gonna end our podcast forever?
What?
Do you think that will end the podcast forever?
No, I have worse things coming up, I think.
Okay. Alright, see you next week then. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed our very first episode of the Infinite Canvas podcast. If you liked what you heard, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Sci-StarComics.com. That is SciStarComics. We also have a dedicated Twitter account at CanvasCast, one word, where you can let us know what you liked, if you liked it, if you hated it, just let us know. Be sure to tell your friends about it, and we'll see you next week when we do our graphic novel adaptations of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. We'll see you next week.